25th May 2022. Morning Murli, Shanti, BapDada, Madhuban. Sweet children, become conquerors of sleep, stay awake at night, and churn knowledge. Stay in remembrance of the Father, and your mercury of happiness will rise. Question: there are many holidays in Bharat, but you don't get a holiday in conference age for even a second. Why? Answer: because every second of the conference age is most valuable. You have to remember the Father in every breath. Remain engaged in doing service day and night. Become obedient and faithful. Have your sins absolved by having remembrance and return straight home with honor. You have to become free from punishment and make both yourself, soul, and your body pure. This is why you cannot get a holiday for even a second. So, our pilgrimage is unique. Shanti. Your children know that there are two types of pilgrimage. One is spiritual and the other is physical. There are two types of shore. One is a river bank and the other is where new centers for you children are being created. They ask how many places you have in Kanpur where one can drink the nectar of knowledge, or how many places there are for bathing in knowledge. You see that we have 4 or 5 places. There is an address for every center. This is such and such place where you can go and claim liberation in life by bathing in knowledge. Your children understand what liberation is and what liberation in life is. Bharat was definitely liberated in life. It was called heaven when it enters bondage in life. It is called hell. Your children know that we go on pilgrimages. You receive salvation by bathing in knowledge. Some children have also had visions of salvation. Heaven is called salvation and hell is called degradation. The golden age is definitely salvation, heaven, and the iron age is degradation, hell. Your children invite everyone, asking them whether they will go with you to golden aged heaven from iron aged hell. Together with the word heaven, you definitely have to insert the name the golden age. Then heaven and hell will become separate. Otherwise, human beings say that heaven and hell are both here. Only the people of Bharat know that what heaven and hell are. Only those who belong to the deity religion will go there. No one else knows this. Everyone has his own religion and own religious scriptures. Everyone should study his own religious scriptures. There will be benefit in their own religious scriptures. Your children understand that we definitely belong to the highest plan. Until you explain the secret of the drama to human beings, they will remain in total darkness. Therefore, you should explain using these pictures. Your children know all the ages, but human beings won't understand without the pictures. It won't sit in their intellects. In a school, if you explain to someone where France and England are without using a map, they wouldn't understand that all. In the same way, no one will understand these aspects without pictures. You should bring them in front of the pictures and explain that this is a drama. Now tell us to which religion you belong. When does your religion come? Which religion exists in the golden age? Everything is written very clearly in the pictures. In the golden and silver ages, when there were the sun and moon dynasties, no other religion existed. The deity religion doesn't exist now, and it therefore has to be established again. The world is now old, and so a new one definitely has to be established. There was the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan in the new world. The picture of Lakshmi and Narayan is a main one. The names Lakshmi and Narayan are very famous. Many big temples are built to them. They also have many names for Shiv and build many temples to him. His name is very famous. They have given him this name Somnath, means Lord of Nectar, because he gives the nectar of knowledge. People have given him many names, and so you have to explain to them why are the names Rudra, Shiv, Somnath given. What is the meaning of Badrinath? He has been given many names without them understanding why, and this is why people are confused. The accurate name is Rudra, sacrificial fire of the knowledge of the Gita. The Father says that the fire of destruction is ignited with this, my sacrificial fire of knowledge. These are God's virgins. When people come, first definitely explain the Gita to them. In it, it is written, God speaks, remember me, and your sins will be absolved, and you will come to me. He is the unlimited Father. He is the creator of heaven and the creator of liberation and life. His name is Heavenly God the Father, the one who establishes heaven. God doesn't live in heaven himself, but he is the one who establishes heaven. He also carries out the task of establishment, sustenance, and destruction. The Father says, now remember me and the Father from beyond this world and consider yourselves to be bodiless souls. Otherwise, how could you come to me? The Father says, this is your last birth, and only by having yoga with me will your sins be absolved. This is called the fire of yoga. Human beings teach many types of yoga for health. Now the Father from beyond this world says, have yoga with me and imbibe this knowledge and your sins will be absolved, and I will then give you the kingdom of heaven, paradise. Therefore, you should believe this. The Father says, O children who are conquerors of sleep, conquer sleep and remember me, because you have to come to me in my incorporeal world. If it were Krishna, he would say, you have to come to my paradise. Wherever someone lives, he would show you destination. The incorporeal Father says, remember me, and you will come to my incorporeal world. There is only one path to come to me. You children are now a mouth-born creation. The words born through voice and born through the mouth are very easy. You now say, Baba, I am yours. Then Baba says, yes children, you are mine. So now follow my directions. You know that Bharat was heaven. Then where were all the other souls at that time? In the land of liberation. There is only one religion, and there is therefore no conflict. There is no trace of fighting or quarreling. Those people say that the Hindus and Chinese are brothers. But are they? They continue to fight among themselves. People sing purifier, the Ram of Sita. It is definitely because they themselves are impure that they sing that. In heaven there is only one pure world, and so they will not sing there in that way. This is an impure world, and it is why they sing in that way. Heaven is called the pure world. The idle age is called the impure world. Human beings don't even understand this. Their intellects are totally dirty. We too didn't understand. By having Tamapradhan intellects, we forget everything. The Father says you have become totally senseless. You were so sensible. You were Satapradhan deities. You have now become senseless and Tamapradhan Shudras. You received so much happiness in heaven. The clan of you people of Bharat was the highest. You were deities. You have now become impure residents of hell. The Father comes and tells this to his children. Your children also feel you were definitely worthy of worship deities and that you have now become worshippers. Baba had made you so sensible and he is making you that again. You should churn these aspects at night and experience a lot of happiness. Wake up at Amrit Vela and remember Baba. Churn knowledge and your mercury of happiness will rise very high. Some children don't remember Baba for even a second throughout the day. Even though they are listening here, their ethics yoga is somewhere else. They don't even understand who the incorporeal Supreme Soul is. In a school, some fail 2 or 3 times. Ultimately, if they are unable to study, they have to leave that school. Even here, if some are unable to understand knowledge, they leave. Maya slaps them very hard. They are punched by lust and completely destroyed. Maya is very strong and powerful. Your boxing is not against any human being, but against Maya. We are now gaining victory over Maya. For this, you children have to make a lot of effort. To whatever extent you can, wake up at night and churn the ocean of knowledge. It will then become a practice. God's virgins are for all his children, not just for one Arjuna. All are on the battlefield. The father says to all the children, O children, wake up during the night and remember the most beloved Father, and your sins will be absolved, and you will be able to imbibe knowledge. Otherwise, you will not be able to imbibe any knowledge. If you disobey my orders and don't remember me, there will be a lot of punishment. You receive God's directions. I am your sweetest Father. By remembering me, you will come to me. It is not good to come after having experienced punishment. By coming directly to me, you will be honored. Therefore, do not disobey my directions. Those who don't obey directions are called the ones who cause defamation. This is the true Father and the true Sadguru. Therefore, you should obey his directions. Shivbaba is very sweet. He makes both your souls and your bodies pure. A pure body doesn't simply refer to having good health. Both souls and bodies became pure. They are called pure bodies. The deities had pure bodies. Now everyone's body is like rubbish. The 5 elements are tamapradhan. So just look what type of bodies are created from them. Just look at their features. There is a lot of praise of Krishna. Only in heaven will you receive bodies like that. You are now becoming deities once again. Therefore, the main thing is to stay awake at night and have remembrance, and it will become a practice. You have to conquer sleep. You can achieve anything with practice. You can learn how to run a business with practice. You can roll out and cook chapatis, etc. with practice. You also have to learn how to remember the Father. You have to remember the Father whom you forget throughout the whole cycle. Then Baba will become pleased. Otherwise, he would say that the child is not faithful or obedient, and he will experience a great deal of punishment. There are only beatings in his fortune. Here, if a person becomes angry with someone, he reacts strongly. However, you won't be able to do anything at the time of Dharamraj gives you punishment. The government has a lot of work done free in jails. Some spend their time in jail without having to work hard, whereas others have to work very hard. In the Dharamraj region too, when Dharamraj gives punishment, you won't be able to do anything. You will understand internally that it is your own fault, and that is why you are receiving punishment. You will also feel that you did not obey the Father's directions, which is why you are receiving punishment. Therefore, Baba says, to whatever extent you can, remember me. Acha. Now, here, else do people receive as many holidays as they do in Bharat. However, here we don't have even 1 second's holiday because Baba says, remember me in every breath. Each breath is most valuable. Your children should remain engaged in doing Baba's service. day and night. Do you love Almighty Baba or His child? Or do you love them both? You definitely have to love both of them. It would then remain in your intellect that Baba isn't this child. You love this one because of that one. They place a stone bull in the Shiv temples and it too its worship. These aspects of knowledge are so deep. But if you don't listen to this knowledge every day, you will miss some aspect. Those who listen to this knowledge every day will not fail. They will also have good manners. There is a lot of profit in remembering Baba and a greater profit in remembering Baba's knowledge. There is profit in knowledge as well as a yoga. By having remembrance of Baba, your sins are absolved and you also receive a high status. The place where Baba resides is called the land of liberation, the Brahma element, but the rest place of all is where Brahmins reside. Brahmin priests definitely wear a thread. Each of them has a top knot because Baba gets hold of us Brahmins by our top knots and takes us back. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, the love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, in order to make both you, the soul, and your body pure, instill the practice of remembering the Father. Never disobey Baba's directions. Second point, at the time of studying, check to see that your intellect is not wandering here and there. Never miss the study. Do not become defeated by Maya's boxing. Blessing. May you be a true server who gives all souls drops of good wishes and pure feelings. Explanation. Doing service with words is not the only form of service. To have good wishes and pure feelings is also doing service. The occupation of Brahmins is doing godly service. Wherever you may be living, continue to do service, no matter what someone is like. Even if someone is like a true Ravan, even if someone insults you, continue to give them drops of good wishes and pure feelings from your treasures, and you will then be called a true server. Slogan. Purity is the main foundation of Brahmin life. Even if the world disintegrates, you will not let go of your religion. Om Shanti